Wales, a country that honestly few people pay attention to. Yet it has been given some incredibly impressive nicknames. The most beautiful and resilient country in Europe, the greatest land of song and poetry in Europe, the kingdom of dragons and castles. And guess what? All of them are accurate. Cold mountains rise above the black lakes. In the early morning, a mysterious mist envelops the tranquil frozen lakes. There's a festival that honors culture, song, and poetry as national symbols. A fortress still carries stone proof of dragons, conquest, and royal power. But what else does Wales keep behind its quiet name? How did an abandoned quarry village become a home for the oldest indigenous language? Why does a horse skull sing before a castle gate? And how did an Italian dream appear on a Welsh shore? This narrow land reaches into the Irish Sea. Wind crosses the fields. Stone walls hold the slopes. Fishing villages face cold water. This is the Llŷn Peninsula, where Welsh still lives in daily breath. More than 70% of people here still speak this language. Welsh is one of Europe's oldest living languages, older than many borders around it. For the people of Wales, it is not only speech, it is memory, ground, shelter, and inheritance. It is carried in greetings, hymns, markets, and family names. Then the road drops toward Caernarfon. The valley feels sealed by cliffs and sea air. Once, quarrymen worked here for stone. Families lived beside dust, labor, and hard weather. Then the village emptied. The families left. Silence entered the houses. But the story did not end there. How can an abandoned quarry village become a voice for the future? Let's get back to the 1970s. The local campaigners saw more than ruins here. They saw a protected valley where people could teach the Welsh language and live with it. The old homes were restored for residential courses. Here, adults learn Welsh through lessons and daily life. The old workers' village has become a school of language and culture. Far beyond the valley, Eisteddfod gives that language a public throne. Poets, singers, musicians, and fans come together to celebrate Welsh culture. The whole ceremony feels like a beautiful blend of ancient traditions and vibrant life. You can see the white-robed figures of the Gorsedd standing with graceful presence. During the chairing of the bard, poetry is celebrated as a national honor. A specially carved wooden throne is reserved for the best poet of the year. In many countries, power sits in palaces, but here it can sit in a poem. A horse skull waits at the castle gate. Ribbons move in winter air. Old power meets older song. Caernarfon Castle stands beside the sea. Edward I raised this fortress after war with the Welsh princes. It guarded the Menai route and watched the mountains beyond. Its banded masonry and polygonal towers echoed Constantinople. Caernarfon was a fortress, palace, and warning, but that's still far from the most unique thing. In the winter, people appear before the fort with a horse skull called Mari Lyd. And what happens when folklore knocks on a royal gate? The punko begins. The singers challenge the household from outside. The people inside must answer with sharper lines. Each reply decides whether Merrill Lwyd may enter. This is the ultimate cultural contrast. Say no to that. Colonial power used stone to crush independence, but the Welsh responded right at the foot of the fort with stubborn folk wisdom. They used satirical poetry to challenge any mechanical rule. Spreading across 823 square miles, black peaks rise through moving cloud. Lakes hold the cold blue sky. More than 26,000 people live within. This is Eryri National Park, or Snowdonia, the largest national park in Wales. It lies in northwest Wales, across the old counties of Caernarfon and Conwy. The park protects mountains, glacial valleys, lakes, villages, farms, and working cultural landscapes. For many Welsh people, this region remains a national heartland. Over half of the people here still speak the Welsh language. The wild has its own language here, and so do the people. Welsh legend said Rhondda Gor is still sleeping under the mountain. He is the strongest and most violent of all the giants of ancient times. King Arthur defeated him and sealed him away here. Can you guess the role of this myth in modern times to help protect the environment? Signs, campaigns, and park rangers use images of Rhondda Gor to urge people to reduce litter and clean up the waste in this area. In the evening, the sunset light settles over the lake. Clouds loosened from the ridge. A sheep bell rang out, then faded into the vast emptiness. Did you know that between the Welsh forests and tidal shores, an Italian dream is waiting to be discovered? Pastel walls catch the light, arches open toward the water, statues watch from quiet corners, portion appears in vibrant colors. The village stands above the Dwyr estuary in northwest Wales. You can feel the sea air move through gardens, steps, and painted terraces. The Italian soul comes from almost every corner. Towers rise above balconies and tiled roofs. Classical columns frame windows and garden steps. The sculptures stand tall, silent, and solemn, as if guarding some secret. The colors also matter. Pink, ochre, blue, and cream turn the hillside into a Mediterranean scene. The Italian style began in 1925 with Clo Williams Ellis, a famous Welsh architect. He was inspired by Mediterranean villages, classical buildings, and older structures facing demolition. At Portmeirion, these fragments were perfectly repurposed. The result gave Wales a coastal village unlike any other. The Welsh have always known how to create their own independent world. The village later entered popular culture through The Prisoner. By evening, the estuary turns silver, windows glow along the hillside. The Italian dream is slowly fading into darkness, but tomorrow, when dawn breaks, that dream will awaken again. The tables fades, the fire is gone. No ale, no warm bread, only salt wind, gray water, and stone. Llŷn stands off the coast of Anglesey. It rests on Cribanow, a small rocky island near Aberfan. At low tide, the path appears, but at high tide, the sea takes it back. The church began in the 12th century. It once stood on land connected to the shore. Then erosion opened the coast around it. The building became an island survivor. A stone wall now protects the church from Atlantic weather. Waves press against the rocks below. Gulls cross the empty sky. The place feels stripped to faith and tide. For centuries, worship depended on the sea clock. People had to read the water before crossing. If the tide rose too high, no one is allowed to come to the church. Evening lowers over the channel. The path sinks under silver water. And Llŷn becomes a lonely prayer above the sea until a new day began. A narrow coastal track carries you across northern Anglesey. The sea grows louder. Then Pethwen appears below the cliffs. Brick arches rise from the grass. Round kilns face the water. Rust clings to abandoned iron. This was once a working brickworks on the Irish seacoast. Its story began with quartzite in the nearby rock. That stone could make fire bricks. Those bricks lined furnaces that burned at extreme heat. Here, Wales served the industrial age from a lonely shore. Stone was quarried, crushed, molded, dried, and fired. Ships waited at the coast. Cargo left through the sea to other parts of Wales and other countries. Everything depended on movement. Rock had to become brick, and brick had to reach steel towns. But distance worked against when the weather at sea was incredibly unpredictable. Transportation costs were driven up dramatically. As a result, the industry moved to another place, leaving Pethwen abandoned. Salt, rain, and grass took over slowly. There is only a furnace ruins now. Stands cold beside the sea. A round tower rises above dark water. Slate ridges crowd the valley. Mist moves across Llŷn Peninsula. Everyone present wondered what were these stones guarding. Let's find out. Doedan Castle stands in northwest Wales near the pass of Llanber. It was built by a prince Llewellyn the Great of Wales in the early 13th century. It once guarded a route through Gwyn, a county in northwest Wales. Doedan was built for control, warning, and survival. In the past, no movement can escape the watchful eyes of those observing here. But what happens when the same valley guards a prince, then feeds an empire? Below Doedan, Dinorrig tells that second story. It was a vast slate quarry above Llŷn Peninsula. Large-scale working expanded there in the late 18th century. By the 19th century, it became one of the world's major slate quarries. The slate have been used to cover houses, factories, stations, and chapels across industrial Britain. Today, Dinorrig no longer works as a quarry. Its old ledges, barracks, rails, and machinery remain across the slopes. The landscape here has now been recognized as a World Heritage Site. A tower watches from one side. A mountain lies cut open on the other. As evening lowers, Llŷn Peninsula turns black. Doedan Castle fades into mist. Across Dinorrig, abandoned slate ledges hold the last light. Now we are standing before Conwy and another historical castle of Wales. 8 castle towers rise hard against the sky. The river moves below. The town waits inside stone. This structure was built by Edward I, King of England from 1272 to 1307 during his conquest of Wales from 1283 to 1287. The walls still circle the medieval streets. They run for nearly 3/4 of a mile. 21 wall towers guard the old town. 3 original gateways still mark the entrances. These structures were not merely defenses. They were symbols of a plan of conquest and assimilation. Take the land, break the language, and build these castles to make the place forget itself. For centuries, that was the plan of England when they conquered Wales. Yet the Welsh people never stayed silent. In 14,001, Blinder's cousins Rhi and Gwym ap Tewd struck at Conwy with a daring trick. Disguised as workers, they entered while much of the garrison was at church, then seized the fortress from inside, but they have been defeated shortly after that. The occupation lasted only weeks. Above the harbor, gulls circle the towers. Below, the ancient walls of Conwy still hold the memory of a courageous resistance. 300 feet down, the air turns cold. Light thins above you. The mountain closes around every breath. Big Pit stands in Blanavon, in the old coal country of South Wales. Big Pit was once a working colliery. It closed as a mine in 1980. Today, it is a museum of underground labor. Before going down into the pit, you must wear a helmet, carry a cap lamp, fasten a heavy belt, and take the same safety equipment once used by miners. Then the mine takes you below the surface. The tunnel's narrow. Water drips from black walls. Old rails disappear into darkness. This was the world of Welsh miners in the 19th and 20th century. This work had fed a whole industrial age, but it also took away the miners' health and even life. Today, Big Pit reminds us about the price of development.